All right. First and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and who was worthy to be counted for double honors. Peace and salutations to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for love of the gospel. It's the brother Gabari from Indiana camp coming back at you again with another sit down. All right. This is just push the button, press the button. I'm on my way to camp right now. Uh, Spirit moved me to do an entrance video. You know, to speak what's ever on my mind. You know, right now I'm thinking about probably talking about just the demons that we fight every day. Because as a brother in the truth, as a man striving for perfection, you fight demons daily. You see, and each single one of us has our own personal demons that we fight. Each single one of us has our own, walk, our path that we're supposed to walk. And then and it's not just physical demons that that we fight in these people. As far as like you might be catching hell at your job, your family might get on your nerve, your woman might make it a little hard for you or whatever, or whatever your personal demons you fight, you know but you also have to deal with your inner demons, the shit that play, the demons that plagues your mind. you know you always have those little words or those little sayings that uh, um that hits your mind. Oh, you ain't in the truth. You don't know the scriptures like that. These brothers that really don't fuck with you. We all get plagued with those demons. Some more than others. And some brothers get plagued. With the same type of demon. You got a couple brothers might get plagued with the doubt demon. Or might get plagued. Oh, these brothers don't fuck with you like that. They got something against you. You see. I don't know exactly. What what demons fuck with what brothers, but I just know that demons are fucking with brothers, because one, the scriptures calls us a body, you know. So if one brother is getting plagued, if one brother is suffering, the whole body is suffering. That's why the scriptures also calls us to pray for one another, anoint one another, always be encouraged, always being encouraging, always being exhorting, lifting the brother up, because you don't know what that brother might be going through. He might need, to hear, hey bro, you cool, you straight. I mean, you a very important man. He might need to hear that. You see, he might need to hear, hey man, the Lord needs you, man. He needs you to do your best. You see, because that little encouragement, that little push can help, can probably change the brother's week. And then especially if he looks at you as a man of the Lord, a wise and understanding man, a man that that he sees great wisdom in. But even if he doesn't, even if you're a small brother, small brothers can be small brothers is just as spiritual as everybody else. Matter of fact, just to show you how spiritual a smaller brother is, he's newly in the faith, but he's saying things that it's like he been around for years. He's saying little encouraging words. So he's like, yeah, man, the spirit, it moved me to do this and moved me to do that. And you be like, damn, I remember when I was, that's why well, back in the day, now it was supposed to be, it was kind of like that, but now it's all, tension and shit. But older men used to love seeing younger men because it reminds them of themselves, especially if they were in the same type of field of work. You see, let's say you were a carpenter, or you were a mechanic, and you see a younger guy, 18, 19, saying to showed the same interest in cars or carpentry work. And he was telling you all about this. The older guy, the older guy used to love seeing that because it reminds him of himself. He said, man, you remind me of when I was little. You remind me when I was your age. The hunger I had for it. This I had for it. So, when a younger brother say certain things, like I said, man, younger brothers are just as spiritual, man. They can say spiritual on point things too. Just because they're much younger in the faith doesn't mean that the spirit isn't dealing with them, neither. But back to the point I was making. Hey, a brother might need to hear, some encouraging words, or a little push. It's like I thought I heard something wrong with my car, but so man, hey, listen, whatever demons that we fight, fight with, just look at them like it's your everyday, it's your daily walk, man. It's things that we have to do. That's why they call it a fight. Satan is not gonna let up until we get into the kingdom of heaven, until we get the victory. All right. So with that being said, we got to constantly keep fighting. We have to constantly endure in the race. No matter what. Matter of fact, the scripture says that in the book of Romans. It says, "What shall anguish, tribulation, distress separate us from the love of the Lord?" We get all this hell put upon us. We get all this what is it? We all these demons plaguing our minds. Is that gonna separate us if we really truly love the Lord? Is not the Lord worth fighting for? You see? And by us knowing that, by us understanding that, listen, if we really want to receive the kingdom of heaven, then we got to fight. We got to stand on both feet and fight. We have to do it. It's part of our it's part of the sacrifice. You see, it's part of that daily sacrifice. And one of the things I like the most is once you pass a test, or once you rebuke Satan, if he got any plague you in the mind, or plaguing you about your emotions, you might just be angry. You don't know why you angry. You pray that away, or you go on a fast, or you seek prayer in the Lord instant in the Lord, and you can see the Lord remove it, or you can see the Lord intervene. That's a faith booster, man. There's plenty of times where I've seen the Lord intervene of situations that I prayed for right then and there, or I asked the Lord, I said, "Hey, Lord, please, don't let it be this, or don't let it be that," and then it comes out to be in my favor. That's why the scriptures also says, what the prayers of a righteous man are the fervent prayers of a righteous man availeth much. That's another reason why we should pray for one another too. Praying for one another helps protect the body. It helps protect brothers. And then if you tell a brother, hey, and listen, we're not like the Christian church neither. We're not like we gonna throw you on the prayer list and that prayer might never come. Or when a brother needs your help, we just gonna say, "I'm gonna pray for you, brother. I'm gonna pray for you." No, man, we actually look out for one another. If a brother needs something, the scripture says, what? If a brother needs you, if the brother inclined, for you to go with him a mile, go with him twine. Go twice. Make sure he, go the extra mile. Scriptures also says, what? Lose thy money for thy brother's sake. If a brother's hungry and you only got a few bucks, and the brother has nothing else, then hey, listen, you might invite the brother over for dinner. Hey, bro, hey, listen, I got $20. What we gonna? Let's figure out something. You might go get a cheap pizza for $10 or whatever, or my brother might. I don't know, but you always want to make sure you're being there because, come on, man, what's going on? You always want to make sure you want to be there because like I always been saying, like I was saying in the whole entire video, we're a body, and then second of all, we all we got. We always say that, man, especially out of the mosh spot. We always say that's all we got, man. We can't rely on our family. We can't rely on our woman. Can't rely on our children. Can't rely on our friends if you have friends. You can't rely on nobody outside this truth. We got to make sure we have each other's back. And in return, guess what? The Lord gonna make sure that the Lord's gonna make sure we thrive. Scripture says what? You can't say you love the Lord and hate your brother. Because through your love, through your affection, what? The Lord is gonna make sure things go y'all way. Or the Lord's gonna make sure y'all are straight. Now, I'm gonna say necessarily go y'all way, but the Lord's gonna make sure y'all straight. The brother Kaya has said something that's kind of stuck with me. He said, "Listen, sometimes, hey, you might ask a brother for advice, and what the brother has said, the brother advice that he gave you might not be the right way to go. But guess what? The Lord might intervene and make it be right because and just because you took heed, So the brother might say, hey, hey, brothers, do this, do that. You know, you might go ask a brother, hey, bro, should I do this or should I do that? You know, and the brother tell you, do this. You know, and that might not be the right way to do it. But if you listen and did it, the Lord might still make it go your way just because you took heed and listened. Just because what? Because when you listen to a brother, the scripture says what? Do nothing without wise counsel. So when you listen to a brother, when you seek that counsel, you have you give an you give a room for the Lord to direct you. You know, you're not going off your own volition. You're not going off your own, well, I feel like this. I feel like I want to do this. You know, you ask a brother his opinion, and then you consider it. See, the world's not doing that. The world is just going off of whatever feels good. Remember the video I did? What was it? Yesterday or 2 days ago? Where it says what? ChatGPT was the devil. He said, I will make whatever feels good to you your truth. You see? Whatever feels good, that's your truth. Which means if you like doing it, that's what, that's good. You know, which is not, man. The scripture says what? The heart is deceitfully wicked, man. Who may know it? You see? So what? We have to lean on the scriptures. We have to lean on what Yahweh Shai says. And what are ways we can do that? Prayer. You know, you can cast lots sometimes. You can ask another brother. You know, or guess what? You can pray on it, and then guess what? The Lord might give you the answer in the video. Or an elder or a bishop might post something in a group and say something. You might ask, like, man, should I go to this restaurant, man? Yo, man, it might be an event tonight that you want to go to. You know, it might be an event that, you know, your favorite comedian's coming in town or whatever, you know, and you kind of on the fence. You want to go, but you don't really, you don't know how to, you don't know if you should go. So you pray about it. Let's say you ask the Lord. You say, Lord, Bible shot, give me an answer. You know, if you think I should go to this, make it plain upon my eyes. And then, a couple hours later on throughout the day, a bishop or elder might, chime in a group and say, hey, brothers, hey, if I was you, brothers, hey, try to stay in the house tonight. It's a demonic. I got a heavy demonic spirit. I sense a heavy demonic spirit out here today. And then you might, you be like, all right, cool. Well, that's the Lord gave my answer. But the key point is what? You gave room for the Lord to intervene. You actually considered about what the Lord thought, about how the Lord wanted to guide you. You see? The world's not doing that. The world like, oh, if I want to do it, I'm gonna just do it, and nothing ain't gonna stop me. Now, ultimately, if the Lord didn't want you to go, He would have made it a way for you not to go anyways. But it's just the fact that you considered it, which a good chunk of the world is not doing that. A good chunk of the world is not considering the ways of the Lord. They just do whatever they want. You think people really pray about when they go out to certain things? When they go out to the store, when they go out, these people don't pray. They just get up and do it. But what we watch carefully. We walk very carefully. That's why the scripture says what? We should say, Lord willing, that we're gonna do this and do that. When a brother asks me to do something, or if I say I'm gonna do something, I try to throw Lord's will, bro. Lord's will, or Adawan Ratzazat, or Abaratazat, whichever one fits your fancy, But the whole point is what you're at. If it be in the Lord's plan, man. If the Lord will allow me to do it, then I will. And that's what separates us from the Lord. That's what separates us from the world. We actually consider. We seek that counsel. We let the Lord guide us as much as possible. And through that, we should never fail. That's why we don't take heed into these demons. We don't take heed to the demons that's plaguing your mind. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be 100 with you, brothers. I got a demon plaguing my mind right now. Talking about, this video is choppy. It ain't organized. Ain't nobody gonna watch it. This ain't edifying to the body. But guess what? I'm gonna still post it. If I can edify one brother, if one brother watches this video and gets edified from it, hey, that's cool enough. That's cool for me. That's another thing. Demons plague you about the work. You ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do a video today. Just do it tomorrow. You tired. You worked all day. You sleepy. You got to get up. You need your rest, don't you? The scriptures. And guess what? And guess what he gonna do? He gonna use scriptures on you too. Scripture says, if man don't work, he don't eat. You got to get your rest, or he might put that sleepy. See, and I know that's a demon that all of us faced. That sleepy demon. We get tired out of nowhere. You might just lay down, or you might just sit down on the couch, and you wake up 2-3 hours later. You jump up, drool on your face, like, oh, what the fuck? Oh shit, you know. Fucking that sleepy demon, man. That sleepy demon, it sneak up on your ass. It sneak right up on you. But that's all that's all I got, man. Lord will after this video is edifying, man. Hey, keep fighting, man. Keep enduring and keep pushing. We're almost out of here. Keep fighting them demons. Don't let Satan win. Don't let Satan hinder you. Like I said, it's a fight. You're not gonna win all the time. You're gonna get knocked down a few times. You're gonna, them demons are, they might. I ain't gonna say they're gonna convince you, but they might knock you down a little bit. But your job is what, to get back up, dust yourself off, and keep on pushing, keep on moving. That's a part of the fight is. That's part of the race. All right. So keep pushing, stay strong. Until next time, shalom.